Hello friends, today we are going to be looking at some of our new spelling words. So this week we're focusing on the long I, and that can look a few different ways. It can be spelled with just an I, like if you look at the word mind, there's no magic E, there's no other rule to make that I a long I sound. It's making the long I sound by itself. Same as the word wild. If you look at another way, you could make the long I sound with a Y. Remember, sometimes the Y is treated like a vowel, and it can make the long I sound, it can make an E sound. So here we have a couple words that make the long I sound with a Y, like cry, try, and dry. I also can have the IGH sound, or the IGH making the long I sound, like in light, high, sight. I can have IE together, which is our vowel team. Remember that rule, when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. So I have tie and lie that have that IE where I have a long I sound. So what you're going to do is sort those words into the appropriate category. And think about, also, as you sort, think about all these words that do rhyme. We're kind of starting to practice rhymes in small groups. So I have dry, cry, try, tie, lie, all with that same long I ending sound. I also have light and sight with that ite sound at the end. So as you sort your words, make sure you look at how the long I sound is made. Is it with just an I by itself, with a Y, with an IGH, or with an IE? And you're going to sort it into the correct category. At the bottom, you're doing a find the pattern. It says read each group of words, circle the word that does not fit the pattern. So what does not fit? Light, sight, lie. So look at how light and sight have the same IGH. They both have that IGH to make the long I sound, whereas in lie, I have IE together that makes the long I sound. So it's the word lie that does not fit. So that's the one I'm going to circle. If you look at 12, you have dry, lie, tie. And do notice they do all rhyme, but think about how they're spelled. It's okay if they're spelled differently. They can still be a rhyming word. They all end in I, dry, lie, tie. But just look at the spelling to see which word doesn't fit the pattern. These two end in IE, and this one uses a Y for the long I sound. So it will be dry. That does not belong. For the last three, I'm going to read you the words, and you are going to think about which one does not belong. For number 13, I have tie, try, try. Number 14, I have mind, wild, high. And number 15, I have high, mind, sight. So circle the ones that do not fit the spelling pattern. On the back side of my page, I am doing something a little different. We are going to focus on word meanings. In a lot of our small groups, we're going to start practicing synonyms and antonyms, which means a word that means the same thing as another word and a word that means the opposite. So synonym would be like pretty and beautiful. They both mean about the same thing. An antonym would be like high and low. They mean the opposite thing. So in this activity, you're going to be looking at antonyms or opposites. So looking at your words up here, these are your spelling words. Look at the word laugh. What would be the opposite? What word could I use to be opposite? Light, high, sight, wild, mind, dry, cry, try, tie, lie. Which one means the opposite of laugh? It would be cry. Okay, if I'm laughing, I'm happy and excited. If I'm crying, I'm oftentimes sad and upset. So laugh, cry. This one I talked about already a little bit. Number 2, low. If something is low, low to the ground. The opposite would be high. It's high up in the air. Very different. Number 3 is tame. So that means it really refers to an animal who would live in the house with you. It's tame. It is trained. It's a house pet. They don't live out in the open forest like a deer. So like a deer would not be tame. A deer would live in the wild. Okay, so we have tame, which means they're a house pet, they're trained, they probably live in our house, like a horse could be tame, or a dog, or a cat. An animal that lives in the wild just does its own thing. It lives by its instincts. A wolf, a think of some other animals, a tiger, a lion, those animals that should not live in your house. I want you guys to do the last two. Number 4 says wet. What is the opposite of wet? And what is the opposite of truth? You'll write that word on the line. At the bottom, you're writing a spelling word in the sentence to complete the sentence. Turn on the blank when it gets dark. So if I look at my sentences up here, I'm only going to use each word once on the page. So if you've used a word as a opposite, then cross it out, because then you know what you won't use down here. Turn on the light when it gets dark would make sense. So I would write light in the line. Number 7, please blank your shoelaces. What do I do with my shoelaces? Number 8, hearing, taste, and blank are 3 of our senses. So senses are, you have 5 senses. You have hearing with your ears, you have taste, you have touch, you have sight, you have smell. Okay, so which one is one of your spelling words? Use your blank to think. What do we use to think, right? Be another word for brain. Okay, what word could also work there? Number 10, Meg will blank to help her mom fix the car. So what will Meg do? Make sure you cross out each word as you go. It will only be used once on this page. So if you're not sure what an answer is, skip it and go to the next one, because then you can cross out more words and narrow down your answer possibilities. Okay? Once you are done with this paper, go ahead and turn it in.